I was also abused as well as a child. So yeah, that's what I would say were the biggest results. And it led me to my purpose, to what I'm meant to do. I've learned to find more groundedness within myself. I've learned to find more confidence within myself, more self-love. How am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? And then like noticing, oh, maybe I'm feeling a bit funky and funny. What can I do now in the moment to not react from wounds, but respond in an empowered way? I would say that compassionate inquiry is everything. To get curious and not judgmental with yourself. A better feeling thought that I can employ right now. I don't have to go from like sadness to joy immediately, but I can go from sadness to a slightly better feeling. 1% every day. I would say keep building that awareness, how you talk to yourself. Like taking a moment to notice, how am I talking to myself? Is it the voice of love, of being enough and gentleness and kindness? Or is it the voice of judgment and criticism and not enoughness? Would you talk like that to your child, for example? Or would you talk like that to a friend?
Welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing, presented by Sacred You, a global community empowering women everywhere. It is my pleasure. My name is Helen Prince, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Nicole Prini today. Hi, Nicole. Welcome.
Hello, Helen. Lovely to meet you. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. Nicole
Thank you
is
for
a
having me.
It's my pleasure. Nicole is a certified emotions, mind, and energy practitioner. And I really want to dive into that because I know that you help women, you help mothers, and you help children. And the way that you do that is through something called an inner glow guide and helping them to find their inner glow. And I love that concept. How did you get how did you come up with that? How did you get to the point where it's like, you know what? I want people to find their inner glow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so my business is called the Inner Glow Guide, and it's all based on that concept of helping people find their inner glow. And as you said, like I do that through the trilogy of emotions, mind, and energy. And I guess you could say, like, my own journey led to me finding my own inner glow, and that inspired me to help women, mothers, and children as well.
Why is that
I've
so
also
important?
been,
Sorry, Nicole. Why is
and
that
I,
so important that people do find their inner glow?
so that they can be themselves authentically and love themselves.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
because I've been through a lot and I want to help others not feel the same way that I did. And I've been a teacher myself. I've worked in schools and I've seen how the school system can suppress authenticity and just make children conform to a box and a certain set of expectations. And I've seen like how kids have struggled in the school system. So that's what also inspired me to want to work with children as well and helping them find themselves authentically and helping mothers as well feel more empowered in order to better support their children when they're facing these struggles.
Yeah, that's so important, isn't it? That as a mum, we want to help our children, but we have to be that role model first as well. Because children, they pay attention to what we're doing, not necessarily what we're saying. So if we can be the role model, that's going to help our children to become that as well. And I love that you're working with both the mother and the child, because it's these rules and the conformity that you said that gets instilled at such an early age. It can really shape our lives as adults and take us in a completely different direction to where we're probably, I don't know, not doing what we want or what we love. There's a disconnect, isn't there?
Exactly. And you asked me, like, why is it so important for people to find that inner glow? It's precisely what you just said, to not have that disconnect from
Yeah,
who they really are. And you're right, mothers are the role model, which is why they lead by example. And they need to work on themselves first before being able to do that with their kids. They need to know how to manage their triggers, their emotions, and their energy. Because I like to do a lot of spiritual and energy work as well. And that mind in emotions, mind, and energy. It's also very spiritual. I would say it's a combination of psychology, manifestation, the law of attraction, and spirituality as well. So that's why EME, emotions, mind, and energy, is so powerful because it really gets to the root.
yeah. And that's very important, getting to the root, not just fixing the symptom, because if the root is still there, the symptoms are just going to keep coming and coming. And I love that you talk about empowering trigger management. What do you mean by that?
That's a very interesting question, actually. Are you talking about trigger management specifically?
Yes. What does that mean, trigger management? How do you manage triggers?
I would say awareness is the very first step. Checking in with yourself. How am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? So, emotional check ins are the very first step. Because how do you know you're triggered if you don't build that awareness?
Exactly.
So for me, the very first step to trigger management is actually just checking in with yourself. How am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? And then like noticing, oh, maybe I'm feeling a bit funky and funny. What can I do now in the moment to not react from wounds, but respond in an empowered way? Oh, maybe I can use a pattern interrupt. I can do something physical to get myself out of that energy first. Take 5 steps back and then curiously inquire into, oh, what's going on with me?
I love that. You're
Getting
saying
curious
that,
about your reactions. Sorry.
yeah. No, that's okay. We've got a little bit of a delay. But I love what you were saying, though, to be able to step back, because we can be so very reactive. And when we are emotional and reactive, that's when things can go pear-shaped quite quickly. And being able to stop that and respond instead is such a powerful thing to do. And it has such a very different ripple.
Yes. And it takes training, immersion, and repetition to actually get that right and
And
to actually,
that's where someone like you comes in to help, because
exactly,
it can be hard in the beginning. Yeah,
exactly. Because it's not easy. Our subconscious, which has been shaped by all of our life experiences, from our childhood to what we may have experienced in school to other events, they shape our reactions because they shape our thought patterns. And it takes a while to be able to reshape that, rewire that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're essentially undoing years and years of bad habits.
Correct. That's exactly how I would put it.
So, Nicole, tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get into this field?
That's a very good question. Yeah, I've been through a lot. And I started following Mandy Morris, who's the creator of EME. And I was seeing results in myself and how my own reactions and my own triggers and my own thought patterns started to change. And that's what inspired me to create that ripple effect for others. It's like during the pandemic, especially, I think that's when everything changed because it was quite a heavy time with the loss of a job, and that brought a lot of experiences that I went through, like up to heal. Like I've struggled in school, I've been bullied, went through a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what inspired me to help others.
And I think a lot of women are going to resonate with what you're saying. And I think the pandemic did bring a lot of stuff into our awareness. We couldn't escape it anymore. We couldn't distract ourselves with jobs and doing other things. What was going on internally really came to the forefront. And that's fantastic that you were able then to get those results. So tell me more about what happened and how that then changed your life, because you talked about the law of attraction and manifesting, which I love as well. So tell me how your life changed after you started doing EM, and what results did you see? What was that ripple effect flow on?
I've learned to find more groundedness within myself. I've learned to find more confidence within myself, more self-love.
I think everyone would love all of those things that you've mentioned.
My reactions to my own thought patterns. I was seeing what stories were playing on my mind as a result of things that happened in my childhood, like the bullying, and I was also abused as well as a child. So yeah, that's what I would say were the biggest results. And it led me to my purpose, to what I'm meant to do.
Fantastic. It's wonderful when we can find that thing that just lights us up, because then it's not work at all, is it?
It's everything, I would say.
So, are there
Yeah.
any tips, if you were to give someone watching this some advice, what would you say to them?
Ooh, it's a whole journey, I would say. But I would say the biggest tip is to create awareness. Just keep noticing what you're noticing. Keep checking in with yourself. And that looks different for everyone. But I would say that compassionate inquiry is everything. To get curious and not judgmental with yourself. To ask yourself questions like, why is this belief true? Who would I be without that belief? It's a better feeling thought that I can employ right now. I don't have to go from like sadness to joy immediately, but I can go from sadness to a slightly better feeling. 1%
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. It's more sustainable, isn't it? And achievable. You think, okay, I'm sad, but I can go to feeling maybe not so sad, or maybe I can start to then feel a little bit hopeful, and then you will eventually move up that scale. And have doing it step by step is easier than trying to make that giant leap.
Correct. And that is EME in a nutshell.
Okay. So what does someone, if I was to work with you, what does that look like? What can I expect to get from you?
We will go through personalized questions to help you become more aware of your own limiting beliefs. We would go through meditations and visualizations, and to really ask ourselves, where do our emotions reside in our body? Again, that's personalized. We can work together to figure out what pattern interrupts you can use. If you notice yourself being caught up in a trigger, what are pattern interrupts that you can do to get yourself out of that energy? As you said, go up the scale, because that is very important. We would do writing exercises to find out our rules and beliefs that we live by. It can be in any area of our life. In fact, you can do this exercise for any area, like in a notebook. Like, how does your life look like? What are your money beliefs? How do your relationships look like?
I love that you start with that awareness. It's so important because if you're not aware that there is a
Exactly.
problem, then you have no chance of fixing it or
Exactly.
changing things. Yeah.
So that would definitely be the very first step, to start with
Mm,
awareness.
yeah. And then we have someone like you who can then hold a hand and guide us through it because when we start coming up against these beliefs, I know for me, it was, I would justify a lot. Oh, it's that way because, and I would, but, or I can't because, and I would justify my limitation. So to have someone like you who can just gently guide me through that, because if we want to change, you have to do those pattern interrupts that you were calling them. And I love that you do them personally for each person because what works for one person may not work for somebody else, but you have that,
Correct.
yeah, you have that insight to be able
Personalized
to say, for
support.
you, this is what will work for you to get through that.
Correct. I agree with
Right.
everything that you said, which is why it's important to offer personalized support in a safe, trustworthy, kind, and compassionate environment.
Yeah, that is incredibly important. You need to feel safe and not judged and just it is what it is and we're going to work through it together. I love that approach.
Exactly. And that is what I aim to create with my clients.
Wonderful. Nicole, is there anything else you would like to add or just say to anyone listening to this before we wrap it up?
I hope that you got some tips from this conversation. I would say keep building that awareness, keep applying that pattern interrupts that work for you. That is how you stand in your own power to rewire your own beliefs. I would also say, yes, I would like to add the power of words and your own internal dialogue is extremely important as well. How
Yeah.
you talk to yourself, like taking a moment to notice, how am I talking to myself? Is it the voice of love, of being enough, and gentleness and kindness? Or is it the voice of judgment and criticism and not enoughness? Am I beating myself up? Another exercise that you could do is really checking in with yourself, really consciously noticing it. If you have to, write it down in a notebook as well. How's my self-talk? How am I talking to myself? You can even set an alarm a few times a day to check in with yourself. Write a list of emotions down, positive emotions and negative emotions. Okay, how am I feeling? Then look at your list. Oh, I'm feeling a good emotion. Okay, I'm grateful for that. I'm noticing I'm feeling positive. Oh, okay. I'm checked in with myself and I'm noticing that I'm not feeling so great. I'm not feeling such a positive emotion. Okay, I'm grateful for that. It's showing me what I need to heal. And okay, I'm going to be compassionate towards myself and gentle. Okay, what do I feel in my body as well? What can I do now that I've noticed this? And the power of words as well. Like when you notice a negative emotion, for example, you can try to start to shift that a little bit through words such as I'm in the process of, or I'm learning. I'm happy and grateful now that. So I really believe in the power of words that you use with yourself.
Absolutely. Our words do hold a lot of power, and our words make us feel things. And if you're noticing, and I love that tip as well, Nicole, because if you're noticing you're saying something horrible to yourself, even just saying, oh, would I actually use those words towards somebody I love? And if the answer is no, then don't use them
Yes,
towards you as well.
exactly. Would you talk like that to your child, for example? Or would you talk like that to a friend?
Yeah. Yeah. Words hold incredible power. So that's a great tip. Great tip. So thank you so much, Nicole, for everything that you've shared today. You've given some amazing tips that people can go away and they can start doing these things for themselves. And then if they'd like to go to that next level, and if they'd like some guidance, if they'd like some tailored pattern interrupts and things like that, then they'll be able to contact you, and we'll have your contact details below this video as well.
Definitely. Thank you for having me and for allowing me to share.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been lovely speaking with you.
Thank you for joining us today for our exciting conversation with Nicole, who is such an inspiration in how we can take control of our lives by noticing our internal dialogues without judgment. Please click on the links below to find out more on everything that Nicole has to offer, including her Inner Glow Guide. For more empowering conversations, tools, and strategies, do follow Sacred You on all the social media or visit our website at www.sacredyou, that's the letter U, .love. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button or give us a like so that you never miss another episode. You already have everything you need within you. Your transformation starts now. Trust yourself. Honor your path and take that next small step. Stay grounded, stay inspired, stay connected. Until next time, keep walking your pathway to well-being. Thank you.